Do you believe wholeheartedly that Jay's your father?
I really do. And if it's not, why you can't prove me wrong? Like, it's not far as a proving me wrong thing. It's go to the courtroom and basically do what everybody else would have to do. I'm not pointing no fingers. I'm just asking everybody, all the judges or anybody who's working on the case, to do what's right and do their job the correct way, even if you overlook something or didn't see something. Everybody makes mistakes, as I said before, but you know, it's time to actually do your job and look at everything and get it correct.
Jay-Z has 5 days. Just 5. That's the amount of time a court has given him to respond to a paternity suit that's been chasing him for over 3 decades. And this time, he can't dodge it. On July 18th, 2025, Jay-Z must answer a very simple, very direct legal demand. Will he take a DNA test or not? Now on the surface, this sounds like just another celebrity scandal headline, but what's really going on behind the scenes is much deeper. This case has roots all the way back to 1992, and it has quietly involved celebrity powerhouses, shadowy legal maneuvers, viral backlash, and even alleged intimidation tactics. From 50 Cent's memes to Nicki Minaj's accusations, from sealed court documents to public outcry, the entire situation is spiraling fast, and Jay-Z is at the center of it all. So, what's the truth? Let's break it all down. In 1992, long before the world knew the name HOV, 22-year-old Sean Carter was just another hungry New York rapper. But according to a woman named Wanda, that summer, something happened. She was just 16 years old at the time, living in Philadelphia. She alleges he drove her to Brooklyn, where they were intimate. She later found out she was pregnant, and 9 months later, her son, Rymir, was born. Now here's where it gets serious. Wanda says they used protection, but it failed. After that one visit, she never saw Jay-Z again. She had no number, no address, nothing. And if her story is true, then not only could Jay-Z be Rymir's father, but the alleged age gap and crossing of state lines could turn this into a very different kind of case. We're talking potential statutory issues that go far beyond a paternity test. But that was just the beginning, because what happened next would keep this story buried for decades. Wanda tried to file a child support suit years ago, but it was dismissed. Wrong jurisdiction. By the time Rymir was old enough to take legal action himself, the roadblocks were already in place. He went from court to court, Superior Court, Appellate Division, even a brief attempt at the Supreme Court. But each time, he was told the same thing. Jay-Z didn't live in New Jersey. He didn't own property there. So the court couldn't force him to take a DNA test. The missing piece? That cotton swab. A simple DNA test that could have ended this years ago. But Jay-Z's legal team has refused every single time. Now pause for a second. This is a billionaire who sued media outlets for defamation, squashed business rumors overnight, and defended his brand with legendary precision. So, why in this one case is he choosing silence? That silence is exactly what made this story explode online. The moment a judge ruled that Rymir's case could finally move forward, 50 Cent pounced. He posted about the court ruling on X, formerly Twitter, mocking Jay-Z and calling him out in the most 50 Cent way possible. The post instantly went viral. Memes, think pieces, comment wars, and suddenly people were asking questions. Wait, Jay-Z might have a secret son? The hashtag Jay-Z paternity started trending. Blog sites jumped on it. YouTubers lit up with takes. And just like that, Rymir's decades-old struggle was now trending at the top of the internet. And 5-0 wasn't just stirring the pot. He was throwing it at the wall. And then, someone even bigger added fuel to the fire. Enter Nicki Minaj. She didn't just repost 50's meme, she added a cryptic message. Is this why he was trending? Ick. To God be the glory. But she didn't stop there. Nicki started unloading years of built-up frustration, accusing Roc Nation of sabotaging her career, suppressing her music, even trying to silence her fan base. She claimed her social media was being shadow banned, her music releases were being blocked, and worst of all, she said Jay-Z owed her money. In other words, she was done being quiet. And now, she was standing with Rymir. Nicki started resharing content from Demery Hadley, the estranged daughter of Roc Nation's CEO. Demery alleged that Roc Nation had tried to institutionalize her, silence her, and target her family. If what she's saying is true, then this isn't just a paternity case anymore. This is a power struggle between industry titans, where secrets, careers, and reputations are on the line. And just when you think it couldn't get messy, Beyoncé's name comes up. According to Rymir's godmother, Beyoncé's camp once dismissed him directly with the words, "Go away, little boy." Now, whether that's true or not is unclear, but what is clear is that Tina Knowles' book may have just blown a huge hole in Jay-Z's defense. See, one of the biggest reasons courts refused to act was because Jay-Z claimed he didn't own property in New Jersey. But Rymir dug through old records, and in Tina's memoir, she mentions Jay-Z did have New Jersey property during the time in question. That single detail could destroy the entire foundation of his legal argument. If he did own property in New Jersey, then the court absolutely has jurisdiction. And sure enough, the judge took notice, because that's when the ruling dropped, and the deadline was set. In a court filing dated July 11, 2025, the judge issued a clear order. Jay-Z must respond to the case by July 18th, period. No more delays. No more evasions. No more wrong court excuses. And here's the kicker. If he doesn't respond, the court could issue a default judgment, which might legally assume paternity, opening up everything from financial damages to further investigation. Jay-Z's team filed a motion calling the whole thing fabricated, but at this point, it's not about opinions. It's about evidence. And silence is quickly becoming a dangerous strategy. So, what does Rymir actually want? Is this about fame, money, or something else entirely? Over the past few months, Rymir has been speaking out publicly. And according to him, this isn't about Jay-Z becoming a father to him at 30+ years old. This is about the system. He says judges ignored fraud, overlooked forged documents, and let lawyers manipulate court orders just because they were up against a billionaire. He also claims there were multiple intimidation attempts. His car shot at after he filed civil papers, alleged tampering by police who pulled him over, and even retaliation against his family's home. He's shown photos of bullet holes. He's shown letters. And above all else, he keeps saying the same thing. I don't want money. I just want him to take the test. If he's not my dad, fine. But take the test and end this. And now the test is coming, whether Jay-Z wants it or not. Let's be honest. Jay-Z has built one of the most respected legacies in music, business, and pop culture. He's a billionaire, a father, a husband, and a symbol of transformation. But if these allegations are true, then we're not just talking about a missed child support payment. We're talking about statutory implications from 1992, potential perjury in earlier filings, civil penalties for years of ignored motions, and a possible ripple effect on his reputation, his business deals, and even his family brand. Even if he's completely innocent, avoiding the test fuels every conspiracy theory out there. And let's not forget, once one case cracks, others could follow. So, let's talk about what happens on July 18th. Scenario 1, he takes the test. The case is allowed to move forward. The result, whether positive or negative, may be sealed, but the public perception shifts. Jay-Z comes off as transparent. The media calms down. Nicki and 50 might even back off. Scenario 2, he refuses. The court issues a default ruling. Paternity is presumed. Civil suits begin, and public backlash intensifies. Every blog, every tweet, every live stream multiplies. Scenario 3, the judge grants another delay. The story keeps dragging. The tension builds. And more people, maybe more celebrities, get pulled in. This becomes bigger than Jay-Z. It becomes a cultural moment. But there are still a few wild cards that could flip this story upside down. Federal involvement. Some legal analysts say if Wanda was a minor who crossed state lines for sex, the case could technically fall under federal jurisdiction. That's a massive escalation, but not impossible. New evidence leaks. Rymir's team claims to have voicemails, pictures, and legal documents they've held back. If things stall, they might drop them publicly. Other celebrity reactions. Already, Nicki and 50 have spoken up. Who's next? What if former Rock Nation artists chime in? What if other alleged secret children start stepping forward? Rico speculation. Yep. Some fans are already whispering about possible racketeering charges, especially if intimidation and legal manipulation are proven. While unlikely, the very idea is explosive online. Right now, we're 5 days away from one of the biggest decisions in hip-hop legal history. Jay-Z doesn't have to go to court. He doesn't have to make a public statement. All he has to do is take a test. And if he does, this saga could end quietly. But if he doesn't, then that silence might speak louder than any rap verse he's ever written.
So what do you think?
Is Rymir telling the truth? Is Jay-Z protecting his name or hiding something deeper? And more importantly, what happens next? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Like, subscribe, and hit the bell because the next headline might hit before the results even come in.